Good morning, this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I'm at the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier in Cherry Grove, South Carolina, and I've got the tidal activity for today to bring up for you. It's just about high tide, and the sunrise is about 2 minutes from now. And one of the other things is that we've got a 0% moon, and actually tide that's about 1.5 feet taller than normal. Some say that the moon causes the tides. I've got plenty of evidence that there's, well, where the moon is and the path that it runs appears to only have a coincidental effect on the tides. And you can research that if you like. One of the things that I want to illustrate here is the water seeking its level. That's what it does all over the face of this stationary and level Earth. The reason why that matters, it means that the official supposed experts and authorities are lying about a lot. And I've got evidence on my research library playlist to prove that. You can check that out if you like. I'll link it in the description. The Out of Shadows documentary was recently taken down after 19 million views. I shared it, added it to my research library about 5 months ago or so when it had a couple 100,000 views, and I put it through what I call the Truth Network. When I add a video to my research library and share it through the Truth Network, I let the comment reflect that, pun intended. Notice the people in the reflection. I'm purposely here to illustrate that, how that works out. We can see when the water is, when the reflection is perfect and when it's not, when there's ripples in it. With the cloud consistency that we're looking at and the sun appearing low on the horizon, it should be a very interesting interaction between the clouds and the sun. Clearly indicating that the sun is not 93 million miles away, it's much, much closer. I've got a video on my channel that has only about 5,000 views there in its raw form. However, it's been viewed over 1 million times through the different Facebook groups. You can hashtag local sun to see that. If you've got information you think I should be aware of, you can send it to my phone number if you like. That's the best way to reach me. And to hashtag Robert Forsch in a Google search. And that'll yield a lot of results, perhaps. My presence could be removed from most of social media and the digital archives that are there. I've got what I call the AI research library. It's an artificial intelligence curated research library. I have friends all over this earth that share powerful content with me. And then I'll also go out to their channels and find that. Job 37 proclaims that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. People get really bent out of shape with biblical cosmology because, well, if there truly is a God, and there's many gods, the God I'm talking about is the Most High, the Most Holy, the Alpha and Omega, knowing the end from the beginning, the living Word, the living water. He's all-powerful and all-knowing. I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. That's why I do this. It's my responsibility to obey God and to do what He created me to do. So I delight myself in the Lord, in all my ways acknowledge Him, and He places the desire to do what He created me to do. It's a perfect fit. You know, I thought I was born again in 1982 until I actually was in 2014 on Reformation Day, or Halloween, as the blood-drinking, human-sacrificing, pedophile Satanists celebrate. I'm exposing them. The Out of Shadows documentary did a lot to substantiate the activity of human trafficking and Satanism, the CIA's involvement with Hollywood, the entertainment, and all different forms of communications. I thought you should know that. Now that it's going to be more and more challenging with censorship, artificial intelligence censorship, because accounts are being deleted. I believe the Out of Shadows YouTube channel was taken down. And yesterday, as I was up on the beach here, I ended up removing a lot of deleted content out of my research library. Many videos. And they were videos that were integrated in my playlist for quite some time. So one of the things that I would have you consider is that there's mystery with history. We're told a lot of things that are not true about the origin of our world, the nature of our existence, and also the nature of us as people. Right now we've got a massive reset that involves a medical tyranny and the enslavement of humanity. And so my research library covers the military and medical, financial, industrial complexes, the world governments, the Illuminati, New World Order, all of the, all that I'm able to locate and share so that you can make an informed choice on your eternity. Where will you spend it and why? And is what you believe actually true? Or is it your own wishful thinking? That's the question that you're going to need to answer, whether you agree with me on that or not, or what I'm talking about or not. The reality is that we actually live forever, and we're only in a temporary, a body temporarily, according to the biblical proclamation, which I believe to be absolutely true and reliable. I'm going to go ahead and take my camera right on over after I show you the, I surf the web, and I also surf out here as well. I started surfing about a month ago, a little bit more, and I've been coming out here for years to help people consider the nature of our reality. So because of the density of the cloud there, the clouds I should say, it should provide a very interesting appearance when the sun pops through the top there. I've got a lot of very interesting content on my channel, some that I've recorded and some that I've just found fascinating and share it. A lot of talented producers and truth seekers all over the face of this stationary and level earth. You see, reality exposes the global lie, which involves the globalists and all of those that are deceived. By irony and paradox, the deceived are unaware that they're actually deceived. With pride as a powerful catalyst for deception, they're not going to want to hear it. They're not going to want to consider it for the most part. So I'm convinced it's only by God's grace that anybody can love and believe the truth, let alone find it. So there's mystery with history, ancient history, the origin of our world, the nature of world government, which relies on deception, deceiving humanity to enslave them, government, to govern the mind. Undisturbed water is flat and level. Keep in mind there would never ever be level anywhere on a spinning, wobbling water ball hurling through space. It's where I was heard saying, do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? And we don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. Well, hello, it's just water seeking its level. That's what it does. We don't have upside down people and birds in relationship to other people and birds and water and all of that. It's the unpopular truth about the reality. I believe truth and reality are exactly interchangeable. So is it true? Whatever it is that you want to know about or believe. Believe about yourself, believe about others. So like I said, this is the Prince Resort in Cherry Grove, South Carolina. It's online. That camera right there is online worldwide 24/7, as well as other cameras that you can access. Let's zoom in on these signs here. We might not see the sun pop through there again, I'm not sure. This is a sea level liquid mirror. People reflect off of the water on their lives, past, present, future, hopes, fears, regrets, the whole thing. That's why I come out here, because there's a tremendous opportunity to interact with humanity face to face, to circumvent the digital quarantine that artificial intelligence is wanting to do with the truth tellers, to actually hide the truth from some, present it to others. The system loves to share the truth with those that are already viewed to be marginalized and looked at as conspiracy kooks, crazy whack jobs kind of perspective. Notice the moisture hindering the view of even the lower part of the building there. Last year we had 20 million guests. This year, with the pandemic, as it's being called, I don't know how many people will have actually come here. So, one of the reasons why we can't see extremely long distances every time over water is because of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation in all its forms. Temperature changes volume and density of water, so how much a gallon of water weighs depends on what the temperature of it is. So even though there's a relationship between the sun, moon, stars, and tides, and my Tide app, my Tide app doesn't cause the tidal activity, the tides near me. And perhaps the sun and the moon really don't have much of an effect on the... There is an expansion of the water when the temperature increases. And the biblical proclamation of creation in Genesis 1 is that we have a firmament, a structure above the stationary and level earth. The flood that Noah prepared for, God opened up the windows of heaven, the fountains of the deep, which may be operating the tidal activity, and also caused it to start raining. So we had 3 water sources. We've got evidence of submarine flooded structures, pyramids under the ocean, and shark teeth in the mountains and in the deserts. There's an overwhelming evidence for our stationary level Earth. And then there's a lot of people that will get all bent out of shape and demand a map and a model and all the details. And I would say, well, that's beyond my purview. I've got pieces of it, pieces of the puzzle. However, to expose the self-enthroned experts promoting their science delusion, I'm telling on them, unapologetically. NASA and the agencies that perpetuate that global deception are deceiving humanity into believing that we're basically a godless cosmic Big Bang, a celestial sneeze, a cosmic cough. It's a lie. So rather than cover every conspiracy theory, I would simply say there's a veritable kaleidoscope of conspiracy theories to hide the actual conspiracies and those conspirators that have promoted them, like the false pretense for wars, the financing of the wars, both sides. Who's financing the killing and who's doing it? And then that system deceives humanity into going along with it. So like the false pretense for the Iraqi incursions, the wars, the innocent people killed for a false pretense. We didn't have 19 men with box cutters bring down 3 buildings and in their own footprint at free fall speed. I've got documentaries to expose many of the impossibilities of 9/11 as we were told, including on my Facebook photo album, the second jet supposedly going through the second building. The nose of the jet coming through the building, it's not possible. You can't fly an aluminum fuselage through steel reinforced concrete. So computer graphic imagery was used. There was all kinds of fakery, maybe beyond what we even know. You can't get a building to fall at free fall speed unless a whole bunch of steel and concrete gets out of the way. Those were controlled demolitions. I've got a photo of the Pentagon with a hole in the side of it about the size of a Tomahawk missile before it, and you can see the building before it caved in. There was no fuselage, wings, none of that was there. In Shanksville, apparently all the evidence of a plane crash virtually vaporized. There was like garbage there, but not a bunch of people in a plane. Oh well. So artificial intelligence will do its best to hide the reality from everybody that it chooses to. And I was created for such a time as this to help people make an informed choice, because it matters for eternity. Where will you spend eternity and why? That's the question that everybody will answer. And I believe God is sovereign, meaning He's large and in charge. He's in control, and Satan will use who and what he can. God will use it all, including Satan, the fallen angels. So there's 2 families battling: the true Creator, the living Word, the Most High, battling with the usurper, Satan, and on the families of each side. So we've got God's family and Satan's family. In the Gospel of John, Jesus, talking to the scribes and Pharisees, says to them, "You can't hear me because you're of your father, the devil." So the devil has children. How about that? So the people up in the hotel, coming out to the fishing pier, or having a lunch or a breakfast, can look out and see my presence here. And I do that because I care. I care mostly about doing what I'm created to do. So rather than doing my own thing, I'll just do what God created me to do, and He rewards me abundantly for that. That's where true pleasure and satisfaction can be found, and I believe that's the only place it can actually be found. So there's a lot of people that will sell their soul for fame, fortune, and I would say that's because they're of their father, the devil, apparently. Yeah, I would say we're not going to see the sun anymore in this particular recording. Not today. Not now, anyway. Maybe later on, I would think. By the way, when you look at, for example, the tides, where is the 0% moon? Where did that go? Just think about it, if you will. That's the Myrtle Beach skyline there. So I meet fascinating people that come up to me throughout the day, here throughout the week. I get calls from all over the world, any time of the day or night, because people want to talk to me, want to hear more about what happened to me. So I was actually born again, survived a successful suicide attempt. Any suicide attempt that you can walk away from, in my book, is a successful one. I survived it. And I'm exposing the pharmaceutical and medical industrial complexes for the criminals that they are. You can see it all over my channel. The reason why I say to hashtag my name and then write down important numbers, whosever they are, everything digital can be wiped out, taken right out of our devices. So feel free to reach out anytime. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. Seek the truth while it may be found, while he may be found.